Hello guys, this is our e-learning module. So when you get to this home page, this is just telling you what it is. Then here is the page where these instructions are included and you'll have clicked on them here. Then we get into the activity. So our first activity says, what system could we design to collect fruit and vegetable waste? So this is our question of the day. Our activator is to watch this video about a school in Atlanta that collects food waste for a different purpose. How could we design a similar system to meet our goal, feeding our turtles? So you'll come over here to this click below button, and you'll click on this video. You do not have to leave this tab. So this video can be watched right here in the presentation so that you will not have to go anywhere else. It is only a few minutes long. Then
food waste is a single large.
There it goes. So that's exactly what it should look like, but you should not be leaving the tab on this one. All right, on the next one, it says explore. Head to your pantry or fridge. Do you have any fruits or vegetables that have gone bad or will go bad? If so, what are they? What will you store them in when they're no longer okay to eat? Now think about our school. What could we store the food waste in that would be easy for adults and students to access? So at this point, I want you to come over here to this box. Click next to the 1, and you may start responding. So for question 1, you type next to the 1. For question 2, you type next to the 2. For question 3, you type next to the 3. So let's say you type a lot. Oops, I didn't mean to do all that. Let's say you type a lot. You type a ton, and you need to make it fit in the box. So to make the font smaller, you're going to highlight all the text and click this negative button a few times. And I bet everything will fit in there all of a sudden, okay? So that is how you do those things. Then we're going to move on to our explain slide. So on our explain slide, it says, click on the Padlet link to share your ideas with the class. I know we've used Padlet before. This is something that's familiar for you, but I'm going to go back through how to use it again. These are the questions you're going to answer. Number 1, what is one object we already have that we could store food waste in? So think about in our classroom or in our home, what's something we could be putting those food waste pieces in? Number 2, who could bring the waste to the turtle garden? How will it get there? What kind of system do we have for making sure the food goes from the waste bin to the turtles? And number 3, how do we make sure the waste is only fruits and vegetables that are acceptable for turtles to eat? So sometimes people may not know what turtles can eat, and they might throw other things in there. How do we communicate that? How do we share that? Or how do we limit what we're giving to the turtles so that way we're not hurting them instead of helping them? So what you're going to do, it also says respond to 2 classmates' posts, so I'm going to explain to you how to do that. I've already made a video for Padlet instructions. It's a screencast, so you'll just click this link and my face will pop up telling you exactly how to do a Padlet. Then you're going to click right over here for the Padlet, and it'll take you to a screen sort of like this. You might see my examples over here. I might have deleted them. They might be here, but you should already have watched this video explaining the instructions on how Padlet works. And you've done it before, so you should be familiar. Let's move on to our extend slide. It says extend. Think past our cafeteria. Where does all this waste go? Play this game that asks you to sort waste safely. So for this one, you will be leaving this tab safely, though, with a link. We're not going out on the internet exploring. We are just following the link to this tab. You'll click play now. Start at level 1. It'll give you an object up here. You're deciding where that goes. I think this one goes to recycling. So I drag it to recycling. Ooh, paint. That has chemicals, things that may not be good. I think it's going to go to hazardous. There we go. Facial tissue. Someone's used it, so it's probably going to go to landfill. Souvenir cup. This one's tricky. I don't know if it's recycling. Yep. So you're just going to do this and leaves. They're natural, like the fruit that we're going to give our turtles, so they go to compost. So you're going to sort all these things in between here. So this is for things that might be scary for us in the trash. We don't want to recycle them. We want to make sure we get rid of them carefully, like chemicals. Recycling are things that have not been used by humans. They don't have anyone's germs on them necessarily. They're not super nasty. They're something we could reuse. Compost are things that come from nature and they can go back to nature. They can go in soil. They can be fed to animals. They go in this bucket. Landfill is for objects that maybe are something we don't want to recycle, like tissue paper. We've used that. We don't want to recycle that. And then this one is for hard to recycle materials. So like phones or things that are kind of complicated and are made of a lot of parts, like appliances. They have a lot of different things in them, and they'll probably do better to break those down and then recycle the parts and get rid of the ones they cannot use. So you'll play this game until you get to level 5, and if it's taking you a really long time, just go ahead and move on to this next explain slide. That is our extension slide. For our explain slide, it says fill out the thinking routine chart below to show what you have learned since the beginning of this lesson. Okay, we've used thinking routines before. We use these all the time in ELA, so now we're going to use one in science. It says, I used to think, and then you'll add your own text, but now I think, and then you'll add your own text. This is a ticket out the door that we do all the time, so you guys know what to do, but you will use it to show me what you've learned through this lesson. So maybe it could be something you learned in the game we played, something you learned from someone's discussion board, or maybe just something that you realized when you were looking in your fridge thinking about your own impact. It could be anything. It could also be from this video on our engagement activator part. Okay, so you guys have got this, and I'm going to include a video down here on this slide. It's not here yet because I haven't made the assignment, but it's going to explain to you how to turn this in as well in case you've forgotten. And I hope you have a great day. I know we're not here in person, but you guys can do this. You know everything. You can do it. Have a great day.